Hi, this is lesson 2. Let's bring up Xcode. Um, this lesson we're going to look more into I/O and a quick word about comments. So to start off, let's write some code. Um, we've got I/O stream already in there, so we're going to delete that, and we're going to say std colon cout. Enter two numbers, std endl colon semicolon, and then int v1 equals 0 comma v2 also equals 0, std cin right v1 right v2 colon semicolon std cout the product of left v1 left and left v2 left is left v1 times v2 left std endl colon semicolon and then at the end we'll have a return 0. Yeah, that should be about right. Um, so let's just instead of doing build and run, I'm just going to do Command R on the keyboard. I'll do it from the menu just to show you. If you just go run, it'll do it straight away like this. Enter two numbers. So you need to draw the focus over here, and we're going to enter two numbers, 6, and then a return line, so enter on the keyboard, and 7, and then it says the product of 6 and 7 is 42. 42 being the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. What we need to know is, what is the question? Is the question, what is the product of 6 and 7? Who knows? But this program starts by printing enter two numbers, and that's done with this line here. And then the program, this bit here, the user's screen then waits for input from the user. If the user enters 6 and 7 followed by a new line after each number, then the program produces the following output. The product of 6 and 7 is 42, which is this bit here. The first line, we've still got hash include IOStream. Tells the compiler that we want to use the IOStream library, which is this. The name inside the angle brackets IOStream refers to the header. Every program that uses a library facility must include its associated header. The include directive must be written on a single line. So the whole thing, this, on a single line. First statement in the body of main executes an expression. in C++, an expression yields a result and is composed of one or more operands and usually an operator. So same thing as before with hello world, except for we are printing enter two numbers. This string literal. Next we have two integer variables which can have any integer assigned to them. That's these. These are the variables here, v1 and v2. The integers we do take to be assigned are taken from the OStream object. Sorry, that should be iStream object and typed in by the user. Because we're using InStream, iStream. Oops. We start by defining two variables named v1 and v2. So that's v2 and that's v1. And we define them as int. And also, one last point is they're initialized to 0. That's this thing here. So this is the initialization step. So 0 being assigned using the equals operator to v2, and similarly with 0 for v1. Next we've got stdcin. And this is where the input's read. So the first value that you type gets put into v1, and the second value that you type gets put into v2. And then this step here is where we print the result. So, oops, all that there. The line prints of each of its operands on the standard output. Some operands here are string literals, like the sum of, so this, or the product of, this bit here. And others are int values, so v1 and v2. And the result of evaluating the product, so v1 times v2, that's the result of evaluating the product of v1 and v2. The C++ standard library defines versions of input and output operators that handle operands of each of these differing types. So that just says some of these are integers and some are string literals, and the cout object in the standard namespace in IOStream can handle integers and string literals all in the same line if you want. So I'm just going to pull up some more code now, and we'll get that in the system. Okay. Right. So this second bit of code, what I want to do is show you these angle brackets here are operators that are understood by cout. And they can be combined into a sentence like it is here. Or outputs can be done in a single statement. However, you have each input or output done separately or in separate statements. So that's what we're going to show, how we can break this up into a set of different statements. So I'm just going to rewrite this code completely, because we're going to do something a bit different now. std cout left, enter two numbers, left, std and l. Whoops, there we go. Int v1 equals 0, comma v2 equals 0, semicolon, std cout left, enter your first number, like that, std cin, we're going to put that into v1, std cout, whoops, let's get rid of that, enter your second number. Whoops, I've got some errors up here. This one should start with, you can see it's putting little triangles and little errors and little sprites everywhere saying, look, you've made some mistakes. So we'll just correct that and see if they disappear. Like that. That should get it back to normal. Oh, I'm still missing stuff. Left, like that. Let's just see if that builds first. Build succeeded, yeah. Unused variable v2, but we're going to use that now. So std cin goes into v, put that into v2. Command B should say build succeeded, no problems, right? And then we want to do something with that. So std cout, whoops, the first number you entered was, okay, I know this is really boring, guys, v1 std end l semicolon and std. Can you guess what I'm gonna do? The second number you entered was that v2 colon. So now let's build it and run it. So we want to move this across a bit. I don't know why it did that. Oops. There we go. Enter two numbers. Enter your first number. We'll go 42. And what's another important number? I don't know. Say 10. And then the first number you entered was 42. The second number you entered was 10. But we've got this immediately following, which looks kind of bad. So we'll change that code. We'll put an end L at the end of that again. And this time, command run. The first number you entered was, let's go here, 42, 10. There you go, that looks a lot neater. So let's explain what's going on there. Actually, I think I pretty much have explained everything. It's just what we've got here. All these are separate. All these operators are used on their own line, but you can see how it all joins up into one program. All these STD outs, they they can be separated into different statements, but ultimately you get the same effect. Okay. I just got to pull up my book here to see what's going on. So just bear with me. Right. Right. I'm going to type some more code in now. Just move my coffee cup. We can leave all that stuff like that. STD out. The sum of V1 V1 colon, that should be S, so there should be no errors so far. But then on the new line we're going to start with that and go and V2, and same here is left V1 plus V2 left STD and L semicolon. You can see that we're getting. You have to look very close at the monitor to see this, but underneath there's little triangles. Let's see what happens if we hover the mouse over that. Expected expression. I'm actually new to Mac, so some of these errors don't mean anything to me, but when it starts to show little sprites like that on the screen and error messages, let's see if we can fix it. So we're printing this to the standard output. So the sum of the first number we entered into V2 is 42. So this time we're doing the sum of 42. How do we get this and here to be concatenated onto the end of the string? Well, that should be pretty easy if we just continue doing this cout and let's say 10. V2 was 10 in our example program before. Still got the same problem, so std cout, the sum of 42 and 10 is 42 plus 10. So this expression will be evaluated and turned into 52, and that'll be dumped to the standard output. Then we've got a new line character. So now down here we're going to get an extra line that says the sum of 42 and 10 is 52. So let's see if that works. We've got to still type the values in. 42, 10. The sum of 42 and 10 is 52. That's what we wanted. Right. Okay. Next, gonna look at some more code. Just pulling it up on assembler. Um, um, okay. Oh, I've already done that. It says 1.8. 1.7. See if we can get hold of that. Right, okay. This time we're going to show some stuff with comments. Let me just go back to my notes. Right. We're going to start with int main again. And this time the main program isn't what's important. But we're going to look at comments inside C++. So I'm just going to type in some stuff. Comment pairs. Cannot nest. Whoops. Start. Nest is consider source code. See that above comment. Cannot nest is considered source code, as is the rest of the program. And then I'm going to do that. So all this stuff in black, it doesn't know what to do with it. So these comment pairs cannot be nested. Let me just do something quickly. Let's say 1.6 and we're on 1.7. Right. Right. So there's two kinds of comments in C++, single-lined and paired. Single line begins with two forward slashes and ends with a new line, so that's like this. Everything to the right of the slashes on the current line is ignored by the compiler, so you can see how it turns green there when I do that. Compared comments use two delimiters, that's these two here. See, it's using two delimiters. Such comments begin with a forward slash and end with a backslash. Actually, yeah, a backslash. Is that right? Sorry, they end with a forward slash as well, but it's just that the asterisk is in a different order. This is ordered differently to this, but that's how the begin and end delimiters are paired up. Comment pairs can span multiple lines of a program. Um, so um, you can see how comments are colored differently when I do this. One comment pair cannot appear inside another. So here we've got two comment pair. We've got a comment pair, and these two are appearing inside this one here and this one here. So what we need to do to get all this to turn green and all to be a comment is literally delete them out, and you can see it all turns green like that. Technically, you don't need the stars at the beginning of each line, but some people prefer to put them in like that. Right. So why is this useful? Well, it's not just to show other programmers and yourself how you wrote a bit of code or what's going on behind the scenes. It's also if you want to, you've got bits of logic and you're not sure how they're affecting the program, you can literally edit them out and see how the program functions without having those lines of code in the program. So let's say I wanted to edit out a whole function. I could do a like this, and it would have to be ended with like that. But that's actually an error because, well, a program needs main, so if I try to build it, it'll just say build fail because there's no main function inside main.cpp. That should change. B again. There we go. Right. So let's type some things into main here and see what we get. We want to see whether they're illegal or legal, whether they're okay or they're not okay. So whoops, that was all wrong. That's legal. So if I go come out, whoops, that should be legal. Oh, it would be. This is why including the header is always important. Include IO stream. Right. Command B should succeed this time. Right. That's legal. So that's the first. What was we calling them? I can't remember. Delimiters. That's the first delimiter of a comment pair, but it's nested inside a string literal, and that's okay. Std cout left. We're going to use the opposite one now, like that. That's also legal. Command B. Build succeeded. Let's do another example. Std cout. Um, That's illegal. But what would happen if we deleted that out? That's a comment pair, but it's on a line that's being turned into a statement with the semicolon, so that's illegal too. So Command Z, what you can do is delete the comment pair out of the statement, and that should be legal because it's just the same as that one there. Oh, I forgot the C out. Let's just back up, put all that back in, and we need to bring this C out like that. So Command B, just to prove it, that's all illegal. We're going to delete the thing that should be a string literal, and you can see it still fails. But let's bring that back and delete the comment pair, because comment pairs that are inside the statement don't compile, but now Command B and that build succeeded, right? So we'll do another example. std c out left star right. We already know that putting um, um, comment pairs or the delimiters for comment pairs inside the statements illegal, so let's get rid of all of them. Is this legal? Well, I think it kind of is. B, both succeeded. And if we put a /n at the end of each one of these, we'll see what happens when it runs, because this is the new line character. We'll see what happens. Command run. Oh. Probably better off with an endl. So back up. Oh, by the way, back up. The way I do that is Command Z on the keyboard. I want endl. And let's just copy that into there, over and over. Command run again, and let's see what it says this time. We could do with getting these the other way around. You can see how they join up though, without needing this operator here in between them. They just concatenate onto the same standard output. That's these two here that I'm referring to. Anyway, that's it for this class. Sorry, that's it for this lesson. I'll see you in the next lesson. The next lesson we're going to be discussing flow control, mainly the while statement, how that's used. Okay, thanks.